Okay, so let's do part 3 of the rusty studs on the exhaust manifold crossover. Now this is the right side manifold that goes down and doesn't exit into the exhaust but goes back over to the turbo side of the exhaust. So all the exhaust gases have to go on the I'm not too good on turbo names. It's not the it'd be the outside of the turbo on the exhaust side. So the right side manifold, there we go. You just got a little bit of a zoom here without even trying. So the right side goes across the left side, which goes back over and down this pipe, which, yeah, there we go. That's the big muffler. Boy, this is almost too much. Let's go back. Let's go back to where we were. So there's a real close-up. And you can see that I've got it seated on there as best I can. Of course, on the side over here, not sure where the camera is, but on the side right here would be your left side of the photo. That bottom part is the actual manifold, and when I had to burn the stainless steel bolt out of there, it kind of buggered it up. So what I did was I used stainless steel bolts, and then I put a bolt with a flat washer that's already attached to it to give it some a good spot to seat. So when I tightened it up, it wouldn't twist and be cockeyed. It would sort of go in straight. Now the other side wasn't necessary. I actually got out the small torch set I have and put a new tip on it and blew through the top side, which gave me nothing but problems yesterday. I worked on it for about 2.5 hours and could not get that to move at all. I put the small torch set on it. It's the same tanks and everything, just a small set I had for years. I'm not using very much because it's really just for small work. So it really doesn't get the heat onto things that I normally do. So anyway, so on the right side, that went well. Despite what that flange looks like, it is seating and not leaking. I've run a couple cycles on it and continued to tighten it, but I'm about as far as I want to go on those stainless steel bolts. There's not any pressure on this. It's not like it's under pressure. It's just got to hold it together. So that top clamp is actually in really good shape, which would be and the bottom is the actual manifold. So, and it runs back along the engine. Now at some point I'm going to have to probably replace this manifold because it's not in good shape, and where this little cross pipe that exits up the top of the photo here, that flange isn't very good either. So if we can get by like this for a little while, that'd be all right. But the next time you start leaking or something, I'm going to have to get involved in it and replace that. So that's where I am with that. And hang on, I'm going to roll out beneath the truck. So the next thing I got to do is I just walk the sand. Wow, we are really... There we go. So I just walked, and that bolt's not springing there. That's for size. So there's a bolt that goes through here with a knot on it that helps push it. So I've pushed the sander chain out as far as I can go. I'm going to have to replace the chain, or find where the master link is if it's possible, and back it way off and take a link out of it. The chain appears to be in good shape. It just seems to be wearing. So I think the next step would maybe to take a link out of both sides and shorten it up. But for now, I'm going to run over to the New Holland dealer, and I'm going to get a new bolt, which is right here. And this one is 5.5, so I'm going to try to get an 8-inch, and then tighten that up all the way out, and hopefully I can get a little bit use out of it. Hopefully that's all I need for the winter. I have 2 sanders, so this one does quite a little bit of work, but if it got late in the year and I had to end up with 1 sander, I can live with that, and then tear this one apart. This summer there isn't a bearing on the back that's needing replacing on the drive off the gearbox, so probably a good time to rip the chain out, put a new chain in it, put some new bearings in it. And that would be the drive motor hanging down right in between the X on the straps there. Okay, so then the other little project here is, where's my glasses? So my son's girlfriend, her father and mother have a outside wood boiler, and I'm sorry if I'm moving around too much, but this top piece was completely gone, and this is all gone in here, and this is the outside door, and there is a filler cord that goes around here, rope. I'm assuming it's a fire retardant cord that goes around there to seal the door. Well, somehow this is all burned out and allowing the heat to escape back against this, and it just literally killed this. So this is very thin, and it's had a lot of heat to it over the years. So what I did was I cut a piece out, and then I put a piece of, I believe it's 3/16 back in there. That's what was in there, and I've kind of run a bead here. It was, as soon as I released this piece that was rotten, except on both ends, and a little piece in the middle, it sprung. So I got it back. I tacked it in quite a few places down through there. The next step is to weld this in, and then I'll grind it down and make it look smooth. I didn't realize that, I didn't realize that this wood stove with all the creosote in it is very similar to welding on an exhaust system that's had unleaded gas through it. It's very hard to transfer the heat, and it wants to draw the creosote out of the metal, and it kind of buggers you and splats at you and everything. And I ground this down pretty well on both sides, but so the welds are a little ugly. There's some good spots and some ugly spots. So I'll clean them up, and then I think what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to weld onto this plate and bring it up right along here, the whole length of this, and then what I'll do is I'll bring a plate over the top of this and give him this really needed channel back in here to put his rope in. So the steel will run up and run it in the bottom of this. I'll weld it across there, and that'll give him his channel. He's going to replace the door, but here we are in December, and probably not a good time to be without an outside wood burner. So that's the plan. I'm going to try to get that done either tonight or tomorrow, and finish it up so I can get it back to him so he can get it fired back up. So I'll show you that when we get that cleaned up and welded in. It's not going to be pretty, but it's going to be functional. As you can see, I'm a little bit long here because I had measured it was 1/2 inch, but it's not quite, and I was a little long, and I will take the 7-inch and I will just bring that, I'll draw the line, transfer it off here, I'll run it down through, and then with a chalk, and then I will grind it down to the chalk so it is level all the way across, so it has a good fit. I don't think it's a big deal even if it was like that, but I'll try to get a little closer. Okay, off to New Holland, get some bolts. Let's get that sander tightened up so it's not skipping, and I'll bring you back when I got some more.